power and torque increase with a 58 over the stock.
Okay.
So that's a biggie.
That's a big
to
one.
me.
So does it you're saying if you have it in there and you're not racing it, you're wasting it?
Well, it all goes back to that number game. If a guy paid 12 or 13, that kit may have been designed for the oversized throttle body.
Okay.
So that's why but we do offer kits that are and to be truthful with you, it won't hurt the bike. The bike will just be down on horsepower and torque a little bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt it. So yes, the kits can be run with
Kevin, what you mean by pro touring?
Well, we offer 3 different stages of heads. We offer our Street Performer, which is our introductory level.
Okay.
Then we offer our Pro Touring head, which is the first one where we do the welded exhaust port. It's a 2-inch valve. And then we have our bigger kit, which is the Thumper kit, which offers our 2-inch 050 intake. And I strongly suggest oversized throttle body with any of the Thumper kits.
Okay, so I guess that's what his question was based on the pro touring as far as when running a T-Man 107 setup, how important is changing your throttle body if you're not racing on a pro touring setup, I guess.
It's not important. You're just leaving horsepower and torque on the table. It's not a necessity. Let's put it that way. You are leaving about 5 to 7 on the table.
Okay.
I guess that's the easiest way to answer that.
Gaddafi, what it do, man? What's going on with you, Gaddafi? Much love, man, Gaddafi.
Yep.
I've met some real cool friends, man, who've been supporting the FHO, so we here, man. Shout out to Gaddafi. He says thank you. He understands. Kev, you got it now? That's good enough for you? Mr. Kennedy, what it do? So, anyway, we're here live, T-Man Performance. We're asking questions, man. Any question you guys have about performance, motor, whatever, ask him. You know what I'm saying? He's here for that reason, so ask away. Fredo, what up? Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy. What's faster on the track? A bike making 200 horsepower all motor or 200 horsepower with a supercharger?
200 horsepower is 200 horsepower.
200 horsepower is 200 horsepower. 200 horsepower is 200 horsepower.
I mean, it's all going to go back to what we're going to talk about later. Is getting it to the ground.
That's what. Okay.
Yeah.
So no matter how it's being put to the ground, it don't matter.
Horsepower. It all depends on if it's a non-whip.
He even gave you prices on all that stuff, what it would take. So if you don't see it, if we haven't talked about it now, we've talked about it previously. This is like our second or third live broadcast. So you probably have to go back to the other ones on the page or go to the YouTube page and just watch them and see where you come off at. Also, if you're on the page, man, please make sure you go to my YouTube page and subscribe. Not just go in there and watch, but subscribe and make sure you get the updates. That's the whole 9 yards. So I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Facebook. So whichever one that you are watching, I appreciate you. I only got 9 people watching on YouTube, so, and I got 27 people. Everybody must be at work. I'm telling y'all missing this, but it don't matter. Just catch it later on. Either way it go, we got you. What else? I think that's all the questions that I got. What up, Fredo, my man? I'm telling you. Okay, what was this one? Look at the queen. She's just so worried about her shirt. Talking about make sure we got the right shirt size. Boy, I tell you.
Let me go out in my truck and see if I've got an ET slip out in my truck.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
I need a 3X shirt. Let's say you said I need a 3X shirt. What is that? 3X with an S on the back. Is that 3X medium? He just stepped out, Gaddafi. I definitely will ask him, does he sell rolling chassis for racing? So we definitely will ask. Again, man, it's your man Big Cell FHO HNIC. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, what up, Tim? Appreciate you, man. I know you're gonna be trying to get it in at work, man. But I appreciate you doing your thing, man. So, but anyway, we're out here in North Carolina, man, at T-Man Performance with T-Riser, getting it in. Shout out to my man Greg Doe for giving me this hookup and turning me on to it. Much love. Extra small. I'm a little dude. Scott, how about Advantage or aftermarket injectors with Pro Touring 107? We'll ask him. Does TR have an Airship bracket set up for the Pro Charger primary? any solid motor mount setup that can be bolted in without removing engine trans. Okay, we're asking. Mr. Stroker, what's good with you? Hey, also, my man, Mr. Stroker, is part of the Pro Tour racing stuff, and we, like I said, we really been working hard, man, to trying to get you guys over to the professional race side of it, to the AMRA. I'm like, damn, say you so close to the AMRA, so that we can really get this thing on another level. So we came up with some rooms. They actually been working with me to help develop some rules and regulations for you guys, man, to so that we can get into the professional side of it. Double, what up with you? Tank, what up with you? Double is asking, how much power can I get out of this 10 horsepower Sears, Briggs, and Stratton? Say, man, the man just said 10 horsepower is 10 horsepower, baby. Big Tank, man, appreciate you. Thank you, homie. But it is, baby. It is what it is, Double. 10 is 10, baby. That's all they got for you, man. If you got 10, that's all you got is 10, baby. You can't be trying to get make 10 into 20, baby. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I'm out here, man. Beautiful. Y'all stay tuned, man. Actually, we're going to buy another bike. They actually going to buy a whole nother bike and build it for me with the 124. And I'm going to take it all over the world. And I believe, you know, because everybody talk a good game about building one. And, oh, I got a friend that's doing 30,000, or I got this that's doing 20,000. It's not only that we don't believe it, but we don't know anybody that we know that actually has done it or that rides the way we ride. So I think that's more of what it is right there. So once they build this bike for big sale, and I go off and get this yonder, it's over. It is over. Okay, I think I'm back. I think the connection got turned off on Facebook, but I'm back. Anyway, like I said, once they get it together and they build this motor, it'll be over with.
I'm going to call him and see if he wants me just to write it.
Yeah, you want, just ride it. I'm sure that'd probably be the best thing to do. Just call him and ask him if you mind if you ride it back to the show. Yeah, just ask him if you mind if Charlie.
I'm going to call him at 1:30 anyway.
Roguelite, what up, sis Ava? I don't know what happened to the other one, but it got lost. Mr. Caswell. Now, if you need something road now, you know I'm here to test ride something now. I ain't got no. And that guy right there, he gets an automatic raise. Automatic.
That's it. I told you, Charlie.
Charlie. You get an automatic raise for that hat, Charlie.
We pick on him on that head.
Hey, no, that he has the right hat on, man. Trust me.
Well, he's loyal.
Charlie, yeah, it don't matter. Yeah, he's like me. I'm loyal, man.
All year.
I'm loyal, man.
Got it.
Since you all right? You talking about you hanging in there? That ain't like you. Normally, you the life of the party. Everything good. Oh, and by the way, man, I want to thank everybody for my prayers for my mom, man. She back home. She got home last night. Pinched nerve and some other stuff, but it was just really affecting her pretty bad. So all you guys' prayers work. I want to tell y'all that. So thank you. Prayers up to the mom. I called her last night. I got to call her today and check in on her. But we're good to go.
You got the cylinders on here?
Yeah.
This is
Anyway.
County done off your way.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it's rough, sis, but also I'm recording it for YouTube too, so it shouldn't be that bad. But whatever you don't get on Facebook, you can get it on YouTube. You ready? What we got? Are you doing something else? Yeah, that's Mama, man. Josh Morgan, you're not too far from the house. If you swing through Charlotte, hit me up. I'll let you know, Josh. I'll let you know.
This a little bit better if you don't mind, okay? Okay.
Let me look at it was some questions too. Somebody asked about a chassis. Do you sell rolling chassis?
No, I wish I did.
Hold on. Come from this angle right here so I can sit down at my desk. That's right. I got a desk at T-Man shop. Y'all ain't ready for that. Yeah. Yeah, you can see. Let's see. trying to go get those questions back that they had. A couple of people had some questions on my Facebook. Hey, Queenie Queen. John, what up? You got any new shirts coming out? Yes, I do have new shirts coming out. Thanks to my man Greg Street, who's trying to hook up, been hooking up with me to do some real big things. The 124U building sale, is that going to be a Yonder bike? Yes. T-Man is specifically building a bike for, he'll be building it by him and, him and Greg will be working together on it to build a Yonder. We want to prove to you that a 124 can be Yonder tough. That's what we call what I do, riding. Call it Yonder, getting Yonder. So it's coming. Let me see something. I'm trying to go to some of these questions that I had, or these people had. If I can get back to them. Let's see how many. Okay, that's that live one. Okay, that's that one. Let me see back at it live. Okay, here we go, right here. Good question. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. What up, Sale? What up, Sale? What up, Sale? What up, Sale? Where is it at? Okay, where are we at? Okay, here it is. Good question, Gaddafi. So the comment. Okay, where is the question? How do I get to it? Maybe if I watch
Everybody
it.
talk a good game about building one. Oh, I got a friend that's doing 30,000. Or I got this that's doing 20,000. It's not only that we don't believe it, but we don't know anybody that we know that actually.
Anyway, I can't find. I was trying to find the. I'm at my desk at T-Man. I got my own desk. Anyway, I was trying to find the question that Gaddafi had asked. He had asked one, and somebody else had asked one, but I don't know how to get back to it. So I'll be able to watch on YouTube time shortly. Okay, but anyway, we're back. What we got? You ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Let's go. We're going to talk about now the actual invoices.
No, this is just something I was looking over for an estimate.
Okay, the timesheet.
Yeah, I didn't find a timesheet, but we were talking about that at breakfast this morning about what we think what I think is the most important part of the race,
Okay, hold on one
and that
second.
is that first 60 foot.
Yeah, that first 60. Let me get over here so they can see. Okay,
Yeah.
so we were explaining that a lot of people, I know a lot of people. Let me see if I can see this in the comments section right here. Yeah. We were talking about earlier about a lot of us that race, I know, Pro Chargers, air shifter, solid motor mount. Oh, that's what it was. Do you sell the solid motor mounts, or do you sell the motor mounts for a Pro Charger or air shifter? That's asked by Jim Stroker.
The solid motor mount kits, we do that when we do the frame chassis, so that has to be something that has to be put in. So I don't sell them. We EDM them out and stuff like that, but normally I don't sell them. I could help somebody out with that.
What does EDM mean?
It means it's all cut out with like a water jet type thing, or EDM'd out. But normally when we do the chassis, we do the motor mount so we can align it in the chassis and everything like that. As far as the air shifter kits, I believe that was one of the questions.
We're making one of those now.
Yeah, I got one that I wanted to show everybody before sale takes off. It's a really nice kit that we're coming up with. It's going to be all self-efficient. It's going to have the bracket made up, the air shifter, so that you'll be able to buy the kit and basically be a plug and play type thing.
What's the purpose of an air shifter? What's the real purpose of an air shifter?
It basically shifts the bike automatically with the push of a button, you know, and that's where we were talking last night, you know, about, you know, when we do the chassis, which I'll show you later, how we position our foot pegs, how we make the seat pans, so when that guy goes to the line, he's locked in on that chassis. He don't have to think about nothing but watching that light and pushing that button.
Okay.
And that's one of the things we'll show you that we did on these 2 chassis that we've done, and we've made up some parts, you know, but that stuff will basically be done more in-house and stuff like that for our, you know, the customers who, you know, want to do the whole builds and everything.
Okay, what was you saying about people doing 30 or 40,000 sales that you don't believe? No, what I was saying, Greg, is that and that's what I was explaining to Mr. Reiser, is that we hear these stories all the time. Just like we hear stories about people riding 30-inch wheels from here to there, and, you know, oh, I rode a 30-inch wheel, but again, those of us that ride and those of us that do this, we've never seen it. I've never looked on the side of me and there was a guy with a 28 or a 26 or a 30 going with me yonder. And it's the same thing with these big motors. Like T-Man, if you've been watching since earlier, he has a 124 that he built, and he promises that he promises with all the confidence in the world that you can take this motor and ride it all over the world. You can get yonder with this motor. And what they're doing is him and Greg are going to collaborate together to put one together for me, to show that we can ride these 124s all across yonder. Now, it's not going to be a full race 124, of course, because you have to be able to, what he was talking about earlier, with the low compression and the different things that make it all work. But one thing he was saying, and this is what I want you guys to really know, is that when you call these people to build these motors, whether it be him or whoever your builder is, you have to be honest with them about what you're going to do with the bike. If you're going to scoot around town on the bike, you know, then you're going to scoot around town. If you're going to have the bike as a bully, like Greg, your bike will probably be a bully bike, where you're going to pull up, you know, real quiet with that old weak ass smile, you know what I'm saying, that old sneaky smile, and then you just waiting on somebody to holler something about racing so you can jump on their ass and drag them down the street. But if you're going to do that, then you know, you just need to be honest so that he can build the bike according to what it is that you want, and he can build the most efficient bike. You feel what I'm saying? Do you take walk-in appointments?
I mean, to do the bikes or why they wait type thing, no, we can't do a build while you wait. But I mean, what we do is we schedule an appointment and a drop off, and then we can give you a delivery date and stuff like that. I mean, these builds that we're doing, there's nothing that we can do in a couple of days and while you hang out in town and stuff.
What do you think about the T124? The T124 motor.
I'm assuming that's the S&S. I mean, they're a good base to start with.
Okay.
You know? I mean, I don't have no, you know, we do a lot of upgrades on it. And that's like I say, we don't have preference. I mean, there's some preferences I like. The 124 is not a bad hit, you know, for the money.
Yeah.
But what's really nice, it can be enhanced. We got CNC programs for the heads and everything. So everything can, you know, we've based our business around enhancing what's already out there.
Okay.
And that way we're not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Let me see. The T143. He says, Greg, you say, I can't believe that he can build a 124, make a low compression sprockets. Make a low compression and sprockets. Is that the key to the 124 build, that it can that would make it be a highway bike?
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, he brought up a good point. You know, a lot of the guys, if you're going to travel, you know, you don't want to start packing gear ratio on them. You know, the stock Harleys come with a 286 gear ratio. So, you know, that 124, you know, you out there on the highway running 80, 85 mile an hour, that motor's only turning 2,600 RPM. So that's where you want to leave it. So gear ratio, that's a good question. Gear ratio does come into play a lot. You know, one of the big things that we do is, you know, on some of these guys who are short, you know, I consider a short trip 300-400 miles. That's, you know, if a guy, so we'll do gear ratio changes on those, but we can drop them down 2 teeth and make it a 305.
Flacco, what up with it? So what about a guy like Flacco? You know, we have a few cats, Flacco, Smiley, me, you know, that ride 1,200 miles a day. We can build something for that?
Yeah. I mean, just because it's a bigger cubic inch, look at the 350 versus the 454. You can jump in those cars and go all across, you know. So that's why I
T-Man
tell
builds
people.
a Highway 124. I'll buy it and test it expeditiously. I did the crate T124 motor last summer, 30,000 miles in 3 months. Yeah. So he says, so Flacco, what up, Flock? Flacco is saying that if you do sell a 124, If T-Man builds a Highway 124, I'll buy it and have it and put it to the test immediately. So he's saying he wanted. What up, little burglar? My man Derek Gray. What type of cams and what does he think about the 777? 777.
Well, that's Bob's cam. I mean, to be truthful with you, I don't know a lot about it. I mean, a lot of people use it. We get questions on it about it, but as far as ever doing the testing and stuff on it, I've never done it. We use a lot of our 555 Torsters and our 625s and stuff like that. We've got some new 580s.
So it's just the cam difference is just the maker of the cams. Everybody is.
No, it's in the way you accelerate the ramps, and a lot of people think that some cams are noisier than others. We have a good reputation for our high lift cams being quiet because I'm telling you, the guys don't want to put up with the noise in these motors. They just so. You might have a cam like our new Punisher series. I'm putting right in the descriptions. These cams will run a little noisier, but they're gonna perform better.
Okay.
And just because they're running noisy, don't mean they're tearing stuff up. Now there is stuff out there that is hard on valve trains, but just because you're running noisy, but a lot of people think that's the way you accelerate the cam. That noise comes from where it comes off of the ramp.
Okay.
It's not really from where it's going up the ramp. It's where it's coming off of the ramp and actually going onto the base circle.
They're asking, what improvements can we make to the T143 motor? What improvements do you feel like?
Now, I've got some really nice improvements. We've got a new CNC program for that where we upgraded to titanium valves and stuff like that. We've changed the port design a little bit. But I'll be real honest with you, I'm not a hater at all. That 145 or that 143, that's not a bad piece to bolt in and go.
Yeah.
But what we are doing, we've got two sets of heads over there right now that we are, because as well as I do, guys are going to buy them, they're going to want to enhance them. So we're already ahead of the curve. We got a CNC program for them. We put bigger valves in them. We've got pistons made up for them. So I'll show you some of that stuff later if you don't mind. I got a set over there.
Somebody is agreeing that the Woods cams are very noisy, hella noisy.
I didn't say that.
And my man D say, if T-Man build it, you better have it. Okay, now, real quick, y'all, we're going to talk about how to read a race slip, okay? A lot of us go to the races, and even in Arizona, we had a question where the guy ran faster than Fast Black, but Fast Black actually beat him in the race. He lit the light up before him. But the guy ran faster time, faster speed. So we're going to explain that. When you get a race slip, let's start from the top. What's on a race slip?
Well, I don't have one right here in front of me, but normally you'll have a reaction time. And that will be a .000 would be a perfect reaction time, okay?
So your reaction time is the first thing you see?
The reaction time is the first thing that you'll see.
Okay.
And that's the time from when that light turns green
to when you
move, you break the beam. Okay, so that's your reaction time.
Okay.
And that's an important thing. Okay, so and I'm going to refer to one of my friends, Greg Dahl and Stacy. They run the
What up,
Street
G?
Outlaw.
What up, Stace?
Yeah. But if you look at Stacy's reaction times and Greg's over the weekend, Stacy had some .002.
Yeah.
You're going to be hard pressed to beat that. That's almost perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Fast Black in Arizona ran some perfects. So
yeah. So if you've got, for an example, and I may be explaining this wrong. I'm not perfect about this, but I'm trying here. If you've got a guy in the left lane running a .002,
okay,
that's almost perfect because .003 is perfect.
okay,
And the guy in the right lane is running a .225.
okay.
That means that the guy in the left lane left 200 or 2/10 quicker than the guy in the other lane. That's a head start. Boom.
So now let's see, because this is where I have the problem. This is what I have. To me, 2/10 or even a second,
200s,
200s of a tenth. That ain't shit.
Yeah, but
It's like, okay, so you did this and then I did that. But in a race, I guess.
Yeah, but if you talk to some of the guys who, I follow George Bryce's website, and Angel at the last NHRA race, she was cut. Come on through. You need to come. He's been focusing a lot on his, his race slip. And he said, he said, man, he said, I said, man, 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 I said, from what I can see, what he posts, he focuses a lot on his 60-foot times and stuff
Okay.
like that. And to me, and then you can add, this is just my opinion, but that's where that race is really, the benefit of that race is, or I like to say the race is won in that first 60 foot.
Okay.
That's where clutch management comes in and stuff of that nature.
So your first thing you read is the reaction time.
Reaction
that
time.
tells you how fast you left at the light.
Out from when that light turned green to where you broke the beam.
What's the next one?
The next one I believe is the 60 foot, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and that
Okay.
will be for an example, and I'll just be honest with you, on my 60 foots when I was riding a dresser with a stock swing, or my 60 foots were 154s to 159s.
And that's 1 second, 1.54 of a second.
Yeah, a second and a half.
Okay,
which
second
is
and a half.
which is good. But when I first started, I was rusty. I mean, I had like 1.7, 1.8 60-foot times. And as you start to knock that 60-foot time down, then your ET gets better out the back door.
Okay.
Kind of a rule of thumb, and this is just what I've heard over the years. For every 100 that you're quicker in the 60 foot, your 200's quicker on the back door.
So
Now,
for every half second that I beat you on the back end, I'm a second faster than you on the
hundreds.
Oh, hundreds.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
second.
yeah.
So if I'm 300 of a second faster on the 60,
Yeah, y'all-
I'm 600.
Yes, sir.
0.6
That's kind of a
seconds.
rule of thumb,
Okay.
and that's just what I've been told over the years, and people will dispute that. Like I say, I'm not an expert on this. But that's what we focus on the bikes that we're building.
Yeah.
I told you that story earlier. The guy called me last week. He says, "Man, I got to have a set of billet heads. I got to have a set of billet heads." And I said, "Well, tell me what's going on." He said, "Man, this bike just won't run." And I got to talking to him, and he was ready to buy a set of billet heads. He wanted to put a deposit on them. I said, "Well, let's talk about it a little bit."
Okay.
Come to find out, he said he was making 170 horsepower. I said, "What's your 60-foot times?" He says, "Well, I'm running about a 165, 170."
Yeah.
And that's not hard to do on bikes that aren't set up. I said, "Man, don't spend your money on a set of heads. Spend your money on a clutch system." And that's what.
So it wasn't that the motor was slow. Your clutch hand was slow. No, I'm
Yeah,
just-
it's all the way back. We got some new clutch
Let me
stuff that
see
we
with
got
it.
coming.
Flacco say T-Man built the motor in Eagle One, and we all know that bike ran and never failed. Point being is he knows what he's doing. I want a T1, 124 T-Man. I want a 124 T-Man Highway motor sign up.
You good?
Yeah.
Big sale, much love. No, thank you, Smiley. Much love, respect to you. Percy, what it do, man? Little Fade, what's happening with it? My man Gary, Big Mush is on. Ava is on. So it wasn't that he needed heads; he just needed a better clutch system.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to always sell a guy something, but what we try to do here at our shop is, because that customer will come back to us. Don't sell him something he don't need.
Yeah.
But we are putting together some really nice clutch setups. I just did a real nice clutch setup with John McGee at Bandit Machine Works, which has a MTC lockup on it, which I got next door. I'll show
Okay.
you later. That will go into the 07 and ups. So you'll be getting those through us and stuff of that nature. So
So
that way you
reaction,
manage
60 foot, and then what's next on the slip?
it. 330.
330. What is that?
That's just your 330 time.
330 foot.
330 foot. Then you've
Okay.
got your 1/8 mile.
Okay.
Then you've got your 1,000 foot,
Okay.
and then you've got your quarter mile.
Quarter mile. Now let me ask you this: as a racer, what do you like racing more, a quarter mile or 8?
I like the 1/8 mile just because it all.
Hey man,
yeah,
every racer say that. Every
Yeah.
racer say they like the 8. I was talking to a guy too this weekend, and he was saying that they like the 8 mile because it's over with fast. The race
Yeah.
is I don't have to worry about you trying to catch me.
Yeah, and then the back half, you're just kind of shifting a couple more times. Yeah.
But
no,
like
I
with the
like it
baggers
both.
though, the 8th is to me the 8th is not a fair race with baggers to me.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll tell you what, the quarter mile is where the horsepower starts to show up.
Okay.
I mean, the horsepower will really show up on around that 1,000 foot mark. Yeah, that's where it really starts to show up.
Like I said, I just think that on the baggers you have to have the quarter mile. You have to. So, who else we got on here? Let's see what we got. I like to see a motor built off of Discovery Channel. All the major shops involved. We're working on it, man. FHO is trying to get a lot of shit together, man. What up, Blue? It's Luana. Next to got Roller Hodge. I was going to do something, but I see I'm better with the 124 from T-Man. Hey, he's speaking on it. Hammerville. Frank said eighth of a mile takes skill. You agree with that?
I do. But I mean, yeah.
Hey, look here, man. That's all you racers. Y'all just trying to, you feel what I'm saying? The quarter mile is where the race is at, man. Quarter mile, because see, the quarter mile, I can correct a mistake and catch your ass from the quarter mile. But that eighth, any mistakes, race is over with, man. Well, ain't no such thing as no 105, Mr. Timmons. Somebody talking about they want a 105 bill. What the hell is a 105?
They've got the 106s and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Man, he just on there talking crazy. I sent all them guys a request too, sis. I don't know if they got it, but I sent it one. So that was how you read your race slip, and you said the two most important things is reaction and 60.
In my opinion, that's what I focus on. And I got, as I've gotten some age on me, my reaction times. But I tell you, the only thing that makes that good is going to the track.
Constant
Time.
preparation
Yeah.
and preparing yourself for it.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you now that's just not getting on, I'm out here. I'm in North Carolina. I'm out here at T-Man Performance. I'm with the owner, T. Riser. And we're asking questions, man, about the race stuff and how to do it. The first question was, one of the major questions everybody wanted to know again was, he said, what is the fastest motor that I can put in a Yonder bike or a ground pounder bike? And we talked about that earlier. You can go back and check the earlier videos. It's a 124 is what he makes and builds. And they're gonna try to put one together for me to show you that it can be rolled by Big Sale all over the world. So right now that's where we are. Did you? We talked about prices. 9,200 shipped to you or shipped the bike, and it's 11,000 installed. That includes clutch basket, oil pans, and the whole 9 yards. And it's at 11 to 12,000. Also, when you get your build sheet, you get every component in the motor. So if you happen to take it to somewhere else, or if you need something else done while you're in a different part of the world, they know what it was that was put into the motor. You said most builders are not really doing that, giving you the build sheet.
Yeah. We get
with
a
all the
lot of
specs.
calls from guys who might be interested in one of our cams or something like that. And,
Yeah.
and we'll say, well, what is your head set up for? They won't know what the valve spring travel, what the heads are set up. So I'll show you one of the sheets that we send with everything. I mean, just our street stuff. We send compression ratio sheets and everything.
And as a builder, every builder would love to build the whole bike. They're gonna. What up, Will? They don't mind. What up, Lavelle? They don't mind shipping you their motor or their components. But every true builder would love to build the whole bike from start to finish, because in that way you can truly get whatever it is that they have to offer, as far as what they promise on their horsepower and different things like that. I can ship you the motor, but the person you got putting it in might not know everything that they need to know to get the motor put in right. Mardo, second to none, what to do? Got a question from Percy Richard. Nitrous versus ProCharge. Which one is better?
And that's a good question. That is a good question. I tell you, I'm a Pro Charger guy. I do a lot of the Pro Charger. That's what I have on my land speed record stuff and things like that. We install quite a few of the Pro Charger kits, but I got to be real honest with you. We're working on some real nice nitrous kits that are going to be user friendly. It's a lesser expensive way to go with the nitrous, but man, you got to be on your tuning game with that, because you'll burn stuff up.
As far as you gotta be
Motors,
nitrous.
pistons, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, and a lot of guys, you got to keep in mind, a lot of guys are just using the nitrous for like dynos, but the whole rules change when you start running out on the quarter mile and you're shooting that for 1,000 foot. Things start changing. You got to take timing out of motors and stuff like that. That's why nitrous is good horsepower, but you got to be on your game when it comes to the tuning on it.
Is that if you use nitrous, is that one of the situations where you got to break down the motor every so often?
No, I mean, you got to look at them big pro mod cars and stuff like that. Man, them guys are shooting nitrous on them, and they're going the weekends. They take their stuff down every weekend, but no, it all depends on how you use it. You know what I mean?
So your best opinion, nitrous over supercharger, ProCharger. Now, what's the difference between a supercharger and a ProCharger? Or what is it, turbo and what?
A turbo runs off of exhaust, so the exhaust coming out of the heads is what spools up the turbo.
Okay.
With a ProCharger, they're belt driven. I like the ProChargers. I don't dislike the
turbo.
the turbos at all. I like the Pro Chargers just because, you know, you don't have the lag time and stuff like that, you know, because you're belt driven, you know, and a lot of people say, oh, you lose too much horsepower. You know, you lose horsepower through the turbos also. Maybe, I don't know what that number is,
Yeah.
but, you know, the Pro Charger stuff, you know, for the Harley stuff, you know, you can buy the kits, you can bolt them on and they work.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest problem that we have is the tune, you know, and that's with all the kits, you know, the people don't realize how important the tune is.
Okay.
And then, you know, the biggest question that we get, and this is what I tell, a guy will call me up and he'll say, what tuner should I use? And my question, or my answer to him is you got to determine who's going to be tuning your bike.
Okay.
And then you need to use what they're the most comfortable with, because
You could buy, let's just say now, I could buy a Bonneville tuner, but he's an expert in
yeah.
And
Well, like a guy might, let's say for an example, if a guy takes, you know, if a guy's used to tuning the Harley Davidson race tuners or the TTSs, and then he's taking the Thunder Max. The Thunder Max is a very good system.
Yeah.
But you've got to know how to tune it. Like on our Pro Charger builds, our nitrous bikes, that's all that we do is we use the Thunder Maxes because they have the 3-bar map sensor, which allows us to tune stuff while it's on boost and stuff of that nature.
That's what you use. That's what you prefer?
That's what we use on all the stuff that we install here. We use on our Pro Charger bikes. We use the Thunder Max because it has options, you know, that work in our opinion better with the Pro Charger. You know, you can use the 3-bar map sensor and stuff of that nature.
Lindog, what up? Lance, what up? Okay. What is the turnaround time? I think we spoke on that earlier. It like I said, it all depends on the build. It all depends on what you're doing, what you need, and you know, what you tell him that he's building. I think what we talked about it earlier. Right now, he tries to stay 2 weeks ahead on certain parts, but again, every build is different, so the turnaround time will be different.
Well, like right now, we had our staff meeting Monday, and we've got 34 sets of heads in the jobs that we got to do in the shop right now, and we got more coming in. We are on right now. We tell people we're on about a 3 to 3.5 week turnaround. So if we receive your kit, let's say Monday, we're going to be 3 to 3.5 weeks. That's the best I can do because we ship on an average 7 kits a week. You know, if you got 30 jobs in here, that's about 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
So and then we've got. Let me let my dog in here real quick.
So again, I'm here, North Carolina, T-Man Performance with T-Rod, the owner, and we're asking questions about the race stuff. If you just now tuning in, I got several other videos that already been loaded up. YouTube, Facebook, go and check them out. If you missed it, we talked about some good stuff. And also, we'll be showing you so much more later on in the day. Pooh, what up with it? My man Pooh. Lexus, what up with it? So we here, man, and we giving you the inside and outs. Again, so far, the 124 is the biggest yonder motor that you can go. T-Man sells one that he offers. 9,200, 11,000 installed. Send your money, send your bike, man, and get it right. You know what I'm talking about? Because they got one coming for me. Don't be listening. Don't be worried about mine. Don't be asking me nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get some yonder. And if you get too smart mouth around here, I'm going to take you to the line and spank that ass. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, y'all already know. Y'all can't give me nothing where I can do nothing with at all because it's over with. He said, what's the most spray he has used on one of his builds? What's the most spray?
We on our everyday street motors, we'll keep the spray under 50.
Under 50.
Under 50. But like on some of the stuff that we build with the 8 that we are building now with the 8-bolt pattern and the ductile iron cylinders, I mean, you can go as 70, 75. I mean, they're getting built for that top. Those are, you got to just be careful about too much spray, and it all goes, how long are you spraying it? If you're only spraying it for 2 or 3 seconds, you can get by with a little bit more. Okay. But, that's where you got to be careful with through stud motors. They'll want to lift the head and blow head gaskets and stuff like that. So, on everyday use, guys, and I'm just speaking out of us. I'm not speaking for nobody else, a lot of pretty common is 40 to 50 horsepower shop, but most of the guys are not using it. They're just using it for the dynos, to hit it on the dyno so they can make the number.
What is the best thing to do to get power out of a stock 103? What is if a guy just wanted to add a little bit of power to 103?
Good 107 kit. I mean, our Pro Touring 107 kits, we just did 2 last week. I think Kelly's going to post the dyno sheets. They had oversized throttle bodies on it. We used the D&D exhaust, and those things went 124 horsepower and 122 foot-pound of torque on both of them.
There it is. There, the 107. You sell that kit for how much?
The kit itself is $2,121.
$2,121 for, and it's called the what? The Pro Stock 107?
No, it's Pro Touring.
Pro Touring 107.
And that's all that stuff's going to be on our Facebook. We're going to have the kits. We're going to have install prices. What you're going to see coming up on our Facebook and our website is, if you want to have the bike shipped to us or dropped to us, we'll have an install price, everything. We give you a complete breakdown on the parts that are, so that there's no hidden expenses when you come to pick the bike up. One of the things Sal mentioned earlier, as we're doing the bikes, we got 2 bikes over there right now, and as we're doing the bikes, we actually take pictures of it that we can email to you during the build of the bike and stuff like that to keep you in the loop on everything. If anything comes about a phone call was made to you, we'd stop and don't go no further. And you get
So in other words, it ain't one of them shops where you come and you drop off your bike and he said, "Oh, it's gonna be it ain't no around 8,000. If it's 8,000, he gonna tell you it's 8,000. It's not no around 8,000. And when you get there, it's $17,000 later.
Yeah.
We do know shops that have done that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna call no names, but they're in the stars. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, does your 124 come with a warranty?
Yeah, we have no issue with that. I mean, you know, and this is the one thing that we fight about the warranties. You know, it's just like when you buy the T124s, they have ignition systems on them and don't. You know, the way I look at warranties, and that's a good question. A warranty is only as good as the man building it. We stand behind
the man honoring it.
Yeah, the man honoring it. We stand behind our product 100%. If we do something wrong and it breaks, or if it scuffs a piston,
Stop it.
we take care of that. Period.
Yeah.
And if you talk to anybody who has dealt with this, they'll tell you. But you know, I can look you in the eye and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stand behind that for 2 years." The hardest thing about warranty is, or is my customer gonna guarantee me he ain't out? You know that. You know, to be honest with you, that's a good question. But it's a hard question, you know, because, you know, what are we building this bike for? It's like these motors that we're building up here. They got to go over 200 horsepower. These guys don't want these things. How do you warranty that stuff if the guys out there, you know, we shift those things at 7,000. If you're out there missing gears and over revving motors, how do you warranty that, you know? So I'm not trying to get out of anything, but, you know, that's where you've got to feel. I tell the customers, you feel comfortable with the person you're doing business working. And if I tell you, hey, if we put a motor together and it knocks the rods out of it because it was a bad set of rods, you ain't paying nothing. We're pulling it out, we're fixing it, period.
Yeah.
But if it comes back and it's got ring lands broke off of it, you can know where it's been over revved and the valve spring tension is down 40 pounds. That, you know, there's telltale signs in these motors. You know, so that's how, you know, so that's a good question, but it's also it's a hard
kind
question.
of yeah.
You know.
So what is, when you say revving, shout out to my man Greg, just got on. Big Worm, what it do? What when you over rev, how can you over rev? Or what is over revving? Like when we was talking about earlier, you talking about you see people, you know, in parades or in Myrtle Beach, all you Myrtle Beach fans be sitting in all that traffic, just
I was down in Daytona, I was sitting and me and the wife went out to dinner and we're sitting in a car and we're on the strip there, you know, and it's probably 90 degrees out there, and there's guys sitting there with their motors, and there are guys sitting, and they just, I mean, sitting there 10 minutes in traffic, and we ain't moved a tenth of a mile.
Yeah.
And that motor, he's like, one, I mean, the whole time just over there.
Yeah.
Jack, you know, how do you warranty that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
but what does that do to the motor? What is
it
rev?
just gets hot. I mean, you know, you got to keep in mind that they ain't cooling.
Okay.
And if I built you a 124 that you want to make 140 horsepower, let's say, you ain't gonna do that with no 10 1/4 compression. You're gonna be up in the 10.8, 10.6, 10.8, you know, 11-to-1. So that bike's gonna have 200. So that bike's gonna get hotter. So that's one of the things I try to do. I try to educate my customers, you know, when they pick these bikes up. Hey, if you're in town, the new bikes have you know, they'll drop a cylinder and they'll start dropping that one cylinder. That, you know, that tells you they're getting too hot. So what, you know, so that, you know, you just shut the thing off. If you're not moving, just pedal the bike. Fred Flintstone it. I tell them, Fred Flintstone that thing for a while. Let it cool off, you know. But man, when you get them that hot, that kills rings. You know, it just does all that kind of stuff. So that you've got to, you know, but you've got to educate your customer about that, because if you don't educate him, he don't know. And so that's what we do try to do. As far as the revving, you know, we get, and you don't do it so much with the fuel injected bikes because they got built-in rev limiters. But one of the biggest things we used to get when guys would have carbureted bikes, we'd tune them and we'd set the rev lever to say at 62. First thing they do when they get that thing home, they take off the cam cover and jack that thing up to about 7,000. Because they think, oh man, I'm gonna rev it quicker. What we like to do for our customers is show them when they come to pick it up. We'll show you where your horsepower is peaking. Let's say if it's peaking at 6,500, ain't no sense in revving that motor
Past.
to 7,200.
'Cause it's already
These are
at-
street motors.
Yeah.
They're performance street motors. But and then the other thing you got to look at is where's that motor making power. I get so many guys telling me, man, I shift that thing when it hits the rev limiter. You're
Greg, sell on his 124 riding motor. Will you be able to gas and go, or will you have to let it cool down for a minute first?
gas and go.
Listen, man. They're building a 124 for me. Listen, for Yonder. It's gonna be a Yonder bike. The way that I get Yonder, the way that we get Yonder. Pump gas,